Well, as mentioned before, we've got some nice days coming later this week, but we've got to get through this bad weather first and this air quality issue.
I know, and it sort of looked hazy today, but with the sky, I'm surprised we dodged any storms today. Usually I thought they would pop up right on time like they have been.
We have a couple of isolated downpours out there, but they are very, very isolated.
Okay.
That's kind of the key word there. We have a couple to the east of Louisville, but tomorrow's going to be a much different story. We actually have a cold front that's going to be diving through the region, and that's going to really organize those stronger storm threats. So we do want you to stay weather alert for tomorrow. We have a weather impact alert day in place. Your weather impact alerts through this week. Once again, spotty downpours this evening, primarily east of Louisville. Rounds of strong storms possible tomorrow, and that is the key word there, where our storms could be coming in multiple rounds, multiple clusters. So it's not going to be one particular time frame. And this setup is definitely a lot different than many of the severe setups that we've had so far this year, and that it's not going to be an evening overnight setup. We could be having rounds of storms anytime between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow. So that's a little bit better, even though you'll be out and about. Daytime storms typically are less harmful, less fatal, because people are awake and aware. So we do have much nicer weather on the way behind that strong front, however, with lower humidity, cooler temperatures both during the day and at night. But our severe weather outlook for tomorrow, you'll notice all of us included in a level 2 out of 5 here in the yellow, and then off to the east and northeast we have a 3 out of 5, where there's a slightly higher threat of seeing any kind of tornado warnings and even stronger damaging winds. Now, our current alerts, before we even get to the storms, we do have some heat alerts in place for Breckenridge, Grayson, and Hart counties. And then also you'll notice here, yes, the gray in place for today. So the heat alerts, this is for tomorrow because we have humidity that's greatly increasing, temperatures that are also increasing out ahead of the cold front. And then today, you might have noticed, yes, we were issued an air quality alert. That's because this morning our air quality dropped to orange, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups. You'll notice all of that is now off to our north. We are back to green and yellow, which is good to moderate. And this was due to particulate matter, which is the wildfire smoke. So we had some of that over our area this morning. Might have looked a little bit hazy with the cloud cover as well. That is all lifting off to the north and northeast. And here is the cold front tomorrow, bringing some of that smoke further south and potentially down to the surface. But also during this time, we're going to be tracking storms, so you might not notice the smoke at all. This continues to push down to the south with the front, and then it really thins out behind that. So that is some great news as we have some nicer weather on the way Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Max HD radar, we've had a few pop-up downpours this afternoon and evening. You'll notice the greatest one just north of Shelbyville here in Shelby County, north of 64. Some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and lightning with that storm. Pretty much quiet everywhere else, so we will continue to hold just that isolated storm threat through this evening. Hot and humid otherwise, with lows tonight in the 70s. And then tomorrow we'll be tracking storms off to the north. And just note that the timing and even the placement of some of these clusters of storms may change. This is just one model output here. But this could have some storms in our north and northeastern most counties between about 9 and noon tomorrow. And then additional activity forming especially on the Kentucky side of the river during the afternoon and evening hours. I will say this front looks to move through and push a lot of this down to the south by sunset tomorrow, with drier conditions, quieter conditions overnight. Beyond that, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday should be very nice. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s with lower humidity. Temperatures are back on the rise this weekend with highs back in the lower 90s by Sunday and Monday, and we could start to see additional storm chances by early next week.